Are you looking for a stakeholder register template? Well, if that's the case, then you've come to the right place because today I'm going to be sharing a template that I have built and been using for several years now and been optimizing over that time. So there will be a link in the description if you did want to get your hands on this template. It will all be pre-formatted for you. It will look exactly as you can see on screen, and it will save you a lot of time. I've also thrown in a couple of extras, a comms plan and a stakeholder analysis matrix as well. They'll each be their own separate tab. So yeah, if you check that link in the description down below, then you can get access to this all done for you. It does come at a cost, but it's around the price of a cup of coffee, and it does help to support me and my channel. But if you wanted to create this from scratch and do this entirely for free, I will just walk you through that now. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is open an Excel workbook and obviously save this file to your local drive. If you are working on a Mac, then you could perhaps use a software like Numbers, essentially, or even Google Sheets. Essentially, you just need a spreadsheet software. So what I would first recommend that you do is just give your template a title. So what I like to do is just kind of really make it clear right at the top of the file. So as an example, we're going to call this Stakeholder Register Template, make it very obvious exactly what this is so that anyone who opens it up can see right from the outset what they've opened. So I like to put this in a grey. I think that's quite professional, and I'm going to show you Calabri. I like Calabri. I think that's a very good font for this. I'll also be building this template with the grid lines on, and then we'll take them off at the end just to finish up. Now, the first thing that I'd recommend also doing is just at the top here, just providing some kind of key information pertaining to the project. So I would recommend including things like the project name, project manager, a client name if you're working externally, and then a project overview as well. And then in this area here, we could put things or information such as the project start date. I'm going to drag this down here, so I just hovered over and dragged down left click. Project end date, or you could do a copy paste, and I just changed the start there just to save a bit of time having to type that all out. And then I'm also going to put a project duration, and I'm just going to double click on these just to expand them to the width that we need. And then what we can do at this point is we can just put this, we can merge these two to give this area a little bit extra space. I'm going to bold these, and we're just going to put these in boxes if you like, just to just to make them look a bit more professional. So we're going to put a fill here, a fill here. Actually, we'll fill all of that, and then what we can do, if we drag this out, we can then just use the bordering functionality just to create little borders for these. And you can change the color of the borders as well. I actually want that in a automatic there. I want these in automatic. You can change the color of the borders as well if you wanted to do that, but I'm not going to do that in this video. I think that goes a little bit beyond the scope of what we're looking to prepare here. But here, anyone who opens this up has an area to enter the required information. Now, it's all about building the stakeholder register. So around about here, I just like to suggest putting in stakeholder register. Again, just make it really clear exactly what this is. We can bold this and maybe make this a little bit bigger as well. And then underneath, we're going to have almost two sections to this register. On the left-hand side, we're going to have a stakeholder overview. And on the right-hand side, we're going to have an area to enter some contact information. So here, I'll just put stakeholder. We can move this in a moment. I'm not sure if this is going to be in the most ideal place, but you'll see what I mean as we build this out further. And then, as I say, in row 9, we're going to put in stakeholder contact. Now, at this point, I'm going to put this in a kind of darker grey. So I'm going to suggest this one to begin with. I'm going to put this row in a slightly lighter grey, keep it with the black font colour, and then here we're going to put this in the lightest grey. And as you'll see, it just provides that tiered look, and I think again it just looks really, really professional. So onto the columns itself, we're going to have ID number. So every stakeholder has their own ID, so you could refer to them as an ID as well. It just helps to break them down, particularly if you've got numerous stakeholders with similar names. So stakeholder here, we can have title and position. Of course, that's really important to capture in your register. We're going to have communication type / channel. So essentially, how are you going to communicate with them? Is it going to be an email, that kind of thing? is it going to be a bulletin? Communication frequency, again, how often is it going to be? Weekly, bi-weekly, etc., daily? You get the point there. And then we're going to put an area for the interest in project. You know, are these going to have, you know, what kind of level of interest are they going to have in your project? Are they stakeholders that need to be focused on, or not so much? We're going to have an area for additional comments. And then we build in the stakeholder contact section. So an email address is always good to capture, along with a phone, primarily a work phone, maybe even a mobile, maybe better than a landline at this current day and age. And then what I like to put in is a LinkedIn URL, because most stakeholders will be on LinkedIn, and that's a really good way to contact them in the current climate that we're working in. So here I've actually put this in the wrong row, so this should actually be here, and that's where that grey should be. Okay, I'm going to bold this out as well. And now we're just going to use a few little subtle tools just to make sure that this is, it kind of looks great. So we're going to merge and center this. So the stakeholder register covers all columns here. We want the merge to go up to column G. We're going to merge those, and then we're going to merge from H to N to make sure the stakeholder contact goes there. We can delete these columns, so I don't think we need them. And now it is just a matter of making sure that each column is the appropriate width to see the content. We could use some wrap text, but I actually just like to do this because I think it just looks a little bit neater. And then at this stage, we can literally just build out the bordering. So if we go up to the top here, click this drop down and then click all borders. We may want to center these and also middle align as well. And we'll do the same for this. That's already on there, and that's already on there. I believe that was part of the merge functionality. So at this stage, we've pretty much done. All we need to do really is click View and press off grid lines. This has all of the columns that I'd recommend that you start with a stakeholder register. Of course, you can change some of the formatting here if you did want. So as an example, it looks like I've missed a bit of the grey there, just so that that's congruent at the top there. But yeah, that's a stakeholder register. You might want to change the sheet name to stakeholder register. Again, just making it very, very clear exactly what this is. But yeah, I hope this video was useful. I hope you've now got a stakeholder register template that you can go out and use. As I say, if you want to just pick this up much quicker, then you can click that link in the description down below, and you do get those other templates as well. But other than that, I hope this video is useful. Any questions, drop them down below. Any comments, feedback as well, that'd be great. Drop them down and I'll get back to you. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, then I recommend that you do so. And do consider checking out my channel if you are looking for other templates, particularly pertaining to project management. And with all of that said, I hope you have an excellent day.